I do. I stand up and make folks laugh.
He stand up.
Yeah. It just, they have to buy a house after we make them laugh.
Right. That's the deal.
Yeah,
You're not purchasing, get out.
Usually what we do is just look down for like 2 seconds. 1, 2, 3, boom, pop up, and then we're gonna go and crank it. 1, 2, 3. Good evening, J. Rashad Thomas, Homeownership Ambassador. We're back on the set of the Village Speaks podcast with my beautiful co-host,
Dion. I am a real estate broker and real estate investor.
and guess who we have today? Richard Thurman, aka
Rich, the resource.
And we're gonna jump right in it and let Rich talk to you about his real estate expertise and how he got into business. Take it away, Rich.
Well, Rashad, I've been in the business for a long damn time.
I like to hear that.
Well, I moved here from Arkansas back in 2002, and I started out with Realtor.com.
Okay.
Then I went to Auto Trader, and then I didn't like it because I was homesick, missing Arkansas, missing my friends, and so I went to a warehouse, started driving forklifts. I'm like, this is not it.
Can't be.
So looked in the newspaper, saw an ad for mortgage loan originator position. They said we will train.
Okay.
I called, we interviewed, I got the job. I've been in mortgages ever since.
Yeah,
So, and what I like about mortgages, man, is that I change people's lives.
Wow.
And I like to, put people in homes where they can create memories, lasting relationships, whole nine.
Most definitely.
And so that's what I enjoy doing.
Definitely. Well, I love that. Changing lives is definitely important. It's just not about buying homes. Let's jump into our next question.
So, you're a mortgage broker, loan originator?
Mortgage broker. Brokers are definitely better.
Okay,
Come to me.
I have to agree with that.
Yeah, brokers are better.
So, you're a mortgage broker. So, tell us a little bit about if I was a new customer, what would be the first steps I would take to own my first home?
Well, first I would ask you, how stable are you?
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been on your job?
Mm-hmm. What's the requirement for how long do you need to be on your job?
Well, you can be on, just have some job stability.
Okay.
Don't be job hopping.
Okay.
Don't job hop.
Most definitely.
But
Show some loyalty.
stay on your job.
Mm-hmm.
Have some savings because you're going to need reserves.
Okay.
And reserves are money, that you have set aside. If anything happens, if you lose your job, do you have 3 months payment set aside?
Is that the key? 3 months, 6 months? What should
Me personally, 6 months, because the area that we're in now, it's tough to find a job. It's tough.
Mm-hmm.
So, but also you want to have a handle on your credit.
Okay, that's a big thing. What is the credit score you think people should aspire to before purchasing?
Well, the higher the better, because the higher the score, the better the interest rate that you'll get.
Mm-hmm.
But as a mortgage broker, I can go down to 500 as long as you don't have any late in the past 12 months.
Okay.
Wow. But for the most efficient loan, what would you like to see that's really in your wheelhouse? What would you like to see?
In a perfect world,
Tell us about that.
I need you to be on your job at least 2 years.
Come on now.
I would love for you to have a credit score of 640 or better.
Beautiful. That's what you need to
That's
strive
what you
for.
need to know, yeah.
401k,
That
and
helps.
a down payment.
Most definitely.
This is a big ticket item, and a lot of people think that they don't need that much money, but you do.
Most definitely.
This is not buying a car.
Yeah.
This is not buying a motorcycle.
Most
This is a
definitely.
house.
Most definitely. And you can't call the landlord anymore.
Right.
No, man.
So you better have some reserves
That's right.
for any unexpected
Exactly.
repairs, anything like that.
Exactly.
Understood.
Most definitely. And so, leading into our next question, are there different types of loans? And also, I'll be remiss if I didn't thank our partners at First Texas for lending us this beautiful house. I know you see the ambiance and the elegance of the white. So we just want to thank First Texas for letting us use this open house property for the Village Speak. So let's jump into our next.
I want to say one more thing about First Texas. This is a very nice house. being up in here, I feel like my credit score just went up. You know what I'm saying? So thank you, First Texas.
Give me some of that blessing. Most definitely. So are there different loan types that people need to look out for, and do they serve different purposes, and how can they be informed to know what's best for them?
Well, it just depends on the customer and what they're trying to do. I mean, there are different loans. You have your FHA, and then out here we're in Wiley. So I think Wiley qualifies for a USDA loan, which you can pull. It's 100% finance. You just pay your closing costs.
That's amazing.
Run that back now.
Say that
we're out in Wiley. This is USDA zone, so you can get in this house 100% finance and just pay your closing costs.
That's
Period.
beautiful. That's
amazing.
beautiful.
Period.
That's beautiful.
If you're a veteran,
Most definitely.
100% financing.
Most definitely.
And you know, for hats off to our soldiers.
Most definitely. Thank you for your service.
They deserve it.
Most definitely.
So we can get them out here 100% financing.
That's a beautiful thing.
Then if you challenge credit, if you got challenged credit, hey, if you got money down, non-QM.
Most definitely. And go into QM. What does that mean for
Qualified mortgage. Basically, you got the decent credit, you got the job history,
most definitely.
and you know, just that perfect credit. But like non-QM, non-qualified mortgages, if you got some challenges, but if I can make it make sense, you got money down, guess what? We'll put you in this house.
Simple as that. You either have to have good credit or have some money to put down. So you have to put some skin in the game. You have to invest.
Have to.
Definitely.
And then, what are your thoughts about going to a traditional bank and going to a personal mortgage broker?
Glad you asked.
Tell them what you mean by traditional bank.
Your traditional bank is going to those huge conglomerates like Chase, Wells Fargo, and those big places.
Most definitely.
But I always tell people brokers are better because I'm not put in a little box.
Right.
Whereas you go to these big banks, if you don't meet this criteria, if anything falls out the side of this box, well, we can't get you qualified. And number one, you have to have at least a 620 credit score minimum to be able to get to qualify for one of their loans.
Wow.
Everybody doesn't have that.
Wow. So the people that are naive to believe that just because you had your account with a Chase or a B of A
forever,
they have a leg up if they want to go get a mortgage, what would you say?
That's not always the case. Now, they want your deposits, but if you don't meet their credit criteria, they're not going to loan you the money.
So no matter how long you've been banking.
Exactly.
Wow.
And that's where I come in because brokers are definitely better.
Wow.
And just like I told you previously, if you have a 500 credit score and you have money down, right? And you've been 0 times 30 in the last 12 months on all your credit accounts, guess what? If you got at least 10% down, I got you.
So would you say that the smaller mortgage brokers, they go above and beyond to make sure, you know, they do everything they can to get you qualified versus a larger bank that's just going to, if you don't fall into their
Exactly, because as a mortgage broker, I have a list of different lenders that I can go to.
That'll get it done.
Exactly. So if you've been late here, well, this lender here, I can look on my list, this lender here works with that late.
Okay.
So whatever the situation is, I can go to my lender, different lenders, oh, we can get it done here, or we can get it done there.
Right.
Oh, so basically you have different boxes to put people inside of rather than just that one square box that most people don't fit in.
Correct.
Oh, wow.
Correct.
That's huge.
Correct.
That's huge. That's huge. And since I know you personally, I want you to share your home buying journey. I talk to a lot of people in my day-to-day that believe that you have to be in a perfect situation.
There's no perfect.
Well, there's no perfect situation as far as...
Say that again, please.
There is no perfect situation
Most
as far as, you know, the home buying process. Like me, with my particular house, we just bought it in 2016, and I was actually thrown into it, right? So, I promise I'm not trying to put out business in the street. I'm not trying to put out business in the street. But our first house we had built in 2005 was a KB home, and we was excited. And so we worked hard to get that house. And so I lost my job. Well, I made a decision. You know, I always try to make a decision that betters my family, but that was a wrong decision. So I was out of work, and my home foreclosed. Period, point blank. Like I said, baby, I'm not trying to put the business in the street. I promise you not.
We just testified.
Of everybody else to kind of get an idea of.
So my wife put in a lot of hard work in that house, making it making it a home for us.
Most definitely.
Did the painting, did the girls' rooms, the whole nine. And that was her house.
Yeah.
Love that house. As a matter of fact, they still love that house. So we ended up, like I said, we ended up going to foreclosure. So what's ironic is, like, when we moved out of the house, we still lived on the same block, 4 houses down.
Wow.
So it was a 1-story flat, and every day we was in that house, I had to hear, I don't like this house. This ain't enough room. And so she was mad, and I get it, I understand.
Definitely.
She said, what do we need to do to get another house? I said, baby, we just had a foreclosure. It's going to be a couple of years. I don't have a couple of years. I said, well, let's take a look at our credit. I know what's on my credit report. So about 10 o'clock, I called one of my friends. I said, hey, man, run my credit. He said, Rich, it's going to be a hard hit. And a hard hit is a hard inquiry. So he said, it's going to be a hard hit to your credit. I said, no problem. Just go ahead and run it. So he called me back about 10:30 at night. He's like, Rich, he said, I thought you had a foreclosure. I said, I did. He said, it's not showing up on your credit report.
Yes.
I said, really? He said, Rich, I thought your credit was bad. I said, it is. He said, man, you're about a 650 credit score.
Wow.
He said, I took it a step further. He said, I got you approved for an FHA loan if you want a house.
Yes.
I said, what? He said, yes. So I immediately hung the phone up. I hung up in his face. You know? He said, I told my wife, I said, babe, I said, he ran our credit and the foreclosure is not showing on the credit report. He got us approved for another house. Wow. And she said, I said, do you want another house? She said, hell, you don't want another house.
You gotta ask her.
So she was like, well, if we get another house, although, one second.
Hello, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Yeah. So where were we?
I want to start his story back over.
Yeah, we didn't really get into it, did we?
We did. We got almost through it though. But he said there was more to it.
Yeah.
We got almost
So
through it.
so what we can do is start where I asked him about his personal testimony.
His testimony.
And
so
then we can just
we
merge
can always
the-
merge it. Okay. Cool. Let's go.
You ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Okay, Rich. Since I know you so well, let's talk about your personal home buying testimony. Just so our followers and listeners can understand, there is no perfect time to buy a house.
Man, you can say that again. You're right. There is no perfect time to buy a house, but the perfect time is right now.
Right now.
Well, with my situation, I was kind of thrown into it. We bought my current house I live in now. We bought that in 2016.
Okay.
But how we got there is kind of funny and kind of sad at the same time. My first house.
Maybe an epic guide to
Hey,
say the
you
least.
know, I had my first house built in 2005, and we was very proud of that house. Like I said, my wife put a lot of sweat equity into that, making it homely for us, and you know, just doing little things around the house, kind of making a family touch to it. But we ended up losing that house to foreclosure.
Wow.
Baby, I'm not trying to put the business in the street, but I'm just,
We love you.
just testimony. So we ended up moving down the street on the same block, 4 houses down.
Wow.
And she was upset every day. I don't like this house. It's too small.
Were you guys renting?
Yeah, we had to rent.
Okay.
So what I did, and she was like, what do we have to do to get another house? I said, baby, we just had a foreclosure. It's
Yeah.
probably going to be minimum 2 years. I ain't got 2 years. I said, well, let's take a look at the credit first. I know what's on my credit report. I said, you just calm down. So about 10 o'clock one night, I called my friend. He was a loan officer. I said, man, would you just pull my credit? He told me, he's like, Rich is going to be a hard car. I said, I don't care. So he pulled my credit. He called me back about 10:30. He said, hey, brother, I thought you had a foreclosure. I said, I do. He said, it's not showing up on the credit report. He said, I thought your credit scores was low. He said, man, you got a 650. I said, for real? He said, Rich, I took it another step. He said, I got you approved for FHA loan. Do you want another house?
Look at God.
Absolutely.
I hung up in the man's face. And I was so excited. So I went and told my wife, I said, babe, he ran our credit. Our scores are good. He got us approved for a loan. I said, do you want another house? She said, yes. She said, what do we have to do? So first I said, we need a down payment. We need to have earnest money. She said, we don't have that. Man, when I tell you we started that process, bro, we had $1.68 in the bank. So I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
But I got ready.
Yeah.
So what happened was, I said, if you really want the house, let me quarterback this thing. I said, now don't follow my advice, but I told her, don't pay no bills for the next 25 days. I said, we're gonna be late, but we're not gonna be 30 days late. All right, we need to amass all the money that we can. So we did our income taxes, and we got a refund back, and that was our earnest money. We got $3,000 back, we put $2,500 for earnest, then we did $500 for appraisal. So that was that. So the next 2 weeks after that, I worked sun up to sundown. In 2 weeks, my check was $4,000. She got a check. Yeah. Phone ringing. We still ain't paying nobody. Baby, they gonna turn it off. Don't worry about it. Don't pay them. We gonna get it. And so I said, do you believe it? And she was like, yes. So me, I always have mustard seed faith, just a little bit. Yeah. And so I always prayed this prayer: God, find you a house and allow me and my family to move in with you. Don't find me no house. Yeah. Find you a house, and would you allow me and my family to move in with you? Wow. Remember the prayer.
Most definitely.
Remember the prayer.
Most definitely.
So we looked. Every time we put a contract in, it's off the market now. Somebody else outbid it. The market was hot. It was hot to touch. Yeah. So I get to work one day, and the realtor had emailed me overnight I looked at the timestamp, it was about 12:30. She sent it to my work email. She said, Rich, I found the perfect house for you guys. Scrolled through the pictures. I said, make an offer sight unseen. Yes. And she said, well, I reached out to the seller. They said, you have to look at the house first. So we looked at it. We fell in love with the house. So my daughter, looking at the house, she goes upstairs. She come back downstairs. She said, Dad, this is the house. So I was like, okay, cool. I said, put a contract in on it. So the next day, it was Saturday, my realtor called me. Well, the seller, this and that, they can get a higher offer. Well, if they want a higher offer, go with that offer, because then that's not my house. Yeah, this is the best we can. So she called me 3 hours later, y'all won the contract. Cool. Mm-hmm. Keep in mind, all I had was that $3,000 from the taxes. Yeah. So I got my check for the $4,000. I'm still short. I'm like, what am I gonna do? So I'm still working. I got another $2,000 check. My wife got her check. We still short. But I was still believing. Most definitely. I took my cell phone out, brother. Get this right here. Scroll down. Every contact on my phone, all my friends, I sent a mass text message. I said, this is what I'm trying to do. If you can help me out, I'll pay you back 3 weeks after we close. So about 15 minutes later, after I sent that text message, my friend, Tim Sweat, wired me $1,600. Wow.
Shouts out to Tim Sweat.
Tim Sweat.
That's my dog. I get another text message. Rich, I will be in Grand Prairie at 7:15. Meet me at the gas station. Don't be late, because I got somewhere to be. So I was at the gas station at 7:15. He brought me $800. Wow. My neighbor called me. He said, Rich, I'm out working. I'll be in the neighborhood about 10 o'clock that night. 10:15, he said, Rich, I'm outside. He brought me $500. Wow. The next day, I get up for work. I get a text message. It's from my insurance agent. Rich, meet me for lunch. He had an envelope for me, $1,000. Then my friend is a principal. He said, Rich, I got home today. He said, Rich, I'm outside. He brought me $200. I was still short.
What were you trying to get?
I was trying to get the rest of my closing money.
Okay. How much money did you need?
I needed total $13,000. Remember I started this process. Must see faith in $1.68. So I'm still short $2,000. So the next day, I get a text from the realtor. She said, Rich, the sellers are going to pay your title policy.
Hey.
I had my money.
You had everything.
Wow.
I had my money.
Wow.
Mustard seed faith.
Mustard seed.
So finally closing approached. Went to the bank, got my cashier's check. I had my money. After we signed those documents, I went to a loan place, got a loan. I paid everybody off. I owe no man nothing but the love.
Wow.
Now, the beauty of the thing is, remember the prayer, God, please find your house and allow me and my family to move in with you. So about a month after we closed, the seller's agent come by the house. The first person that lived in the house, that had the house built, they had the house dedicated. Behind the sheetrock in every room in my house, on every 2x4, in every square inch of my house, is scripture.
Wow.
The prayer was, God, find your house and allow me and my family to move in with you.
Wow.
So if you're looking to buy a house, ain't no better time than right now. If you believe, you can get it. If you got the hustle, you can get it.
But you must have the will. That's the first component you must have.
And if you have the will, I'll find a way.
Definitely.
If you got the will, I will find a way.
That's an amazing story.
That's a testimony. And it's ironic that the name of this podcast is The Village Speaks, and how the village came together. At the end of the day, the village came together to invest in one man's dream that was God's side. So listen to Rich. That story was amazing. Take inspiration from that story, because I know it's a lot of stories out there that are similar, but there's a lot of people hanging on the fence. Home ownership is an investment. And that just leads us into our last question. We talk about influences and work ethic and all those different things. What kind of influence, did you have growing up that gave you the work ethic to be able to believe and pull that off with God's help?
Well, I got to give a little credit to my dad.
Okay.
Man, I remember as a kid, I got the worst beating of my life for begging.
Wow.
And one, we had went to the bank. He had just got paid. And I said, Daddy, I seen all this money that the teller gave me. Daddy, give me $5. Daddy, give me $5. Son, I ain't got it.
Yeah. Excuse me.
But Daddy, give me $5. Son, I don't have $5. I asked him again. He said, wait till we get home. I told you I don't have it.
Yeah.
And and then he saw me, and then he was already mad at me for the previous day, begging my auntie for a couple bucks.
Yeah.
And me asking him for that $5, and I kept asking, he didn't have it. It took him over the top. So we got home, he skipped my backside.
Most definitely.
But the crazy thing is, how when your parents whoop you, then they want you to do something?
Yeah.
So, man, he beat me good, bro.
Yeah.
Then he said, go outside and cut the yard. Go cut the yard.
After that?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Go cut the yard.
You
crazy. So I'm cutting the yard, just, grumpy, man. Now I'll cut the hedges. So we didn't have the electrical, I'm out there chopping, they're like you say, that hard ass work.
Yeah.
H-A-W. And so, you know how you edge up the yard with the weed eater, you going down there? We had that whole chopper.
Ooh.
Like we in prison.
Yeah.
We chop
Yeah.
to edge the yard. So, and I'm mad the whole time. So, it's late in the evening, I go and eat dinner, I wash up and I go to bed. But when I get up the next day, there's $50 on my dresser.
Talk to me now.
There's $50 on my dresser. And so he said, son, let me tell you why I whooped you yesterday. He said, now I have a physical handicap. He did. He had a deformity, his arm was deformed. He said, son, if I can get out here and hustle and go to work, damn it, you can too.
Wow.
He said, you don't beg for nobody, you go work hard.
Wow.
I've been working hard ever since. And the reading material that I like to read that influenced my hard work is the Bible.
Most definitely.
The Bible said, if you don't work, you don't eat.
Come on now.
And if you look at me, I like to work, so you know I'm eating.
Most definitely.
I'm eating.
Most definitely. I love that. I love that. Most people don't give the Bible the credit for the inspiration. Usually
That's right.
they're looking for inspiration outside of the word. So
Well, and not only that, I don't have to be in a group or have a mentor to motivate me, because like, I think I'm one of the old school fathers left, that's just left.
most definitely.
And I'm a protector.
Most definitely.
I'm a provider. So me getting up every day, if God allows me to wake up and I see my wife laying next to me and I see my kids, I got to go get it.
That's motivation enough.
I don't need no pep rally. I just need to just wake up and see them.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
So there's no excuse. I don't give no excuses of why I can't do for my family. I might not have it right now, but I'll tell my wife, hey, I'll be back out the wild. But when I get back, they got it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love it.
Yeah.
I love
As
it.
long as I got breath, I'm always happy for them.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Well, I know we've gone through all of these questions, but there was one that I wanted us to touch on before we wrap.
Okay.
Can you talk about down payment assistance and
Fun. Down payment
benefits
assistance.
and drawbacks of that?
Well, there's some benefits for down payment assistance. For instance, if you don't have money for down payment or closing costs, there are programs out there that will help you to get that and obtain homeownership. I have a down payment assistance program, but I don't necessarily do down payment assistance because, a lot of people, you have a lot of loan officers. I can get you this. Oh, it's free money. Nothing in life is free. Nothing.
Write that down. Take a picture.
Nothing
Get a T-shirt.
in life is free.
It's not free.
So when you're using other people's money, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you a higher rate than what you would normally pay if you paid your own money.
Okay, so just to be clear for our viewers, down payment assistance is not a grant. It's not free money. It's essentially a loan.
And they say it's a grant.
Technically, the definition is a grant, but in order to obtain this grant, you have to
you have to meet some of their criteria, guidelines, and like a lot of it stems from credit scores. Like the program I had, you had to have at least a 620 credit score. But the rates start out really, really high. So yeah, they're giving you money, and you don't have, but you're going to pay it back through that rate. So essentially, it's not free. Now, if you had your own money to use for down payment, it's like again. Let's go back to my down payment assistance. The rates start out at 6.5%, and that's with a 640 credit score. So if you had your own money, I can get you 3.5%. That's 3 points off the rate.
Right.
Imagine the savings that you're going to have in your monthly payment
over 30 years.
Over 30 years.
Wow.
So is that free money? Is that down payment assistance free money? No, it's not. You have to pay for that. You're going to pay one way or another. So would you rather pay on the front end by you using your own money, or would you rather pay on the back end by paying a whole bunch of interest? You choose.
And just to give you a financial or dollar amount example, we were working with the builder not too long ago.
Correct.
And the difference between one loan versus the next loan, it was actually, wasn't it about $80,000 over the life of the loan?
You're right. So we had a client where went looking for a home, so he went to a builder. So the program that they offered him, they're giving him down payment assistance, but his rate I think was like 4.5%. So, and he's like they was paying all his closing costs and everything like that. So I reached out to him. I said, hey, that's fantastic that they're doing all of that, but everything is what they're telling you is not free. There's a cost involved for that. You're gonna pay for that. Well, he's like, well, Rich, just send me some estimates of what you can do. So my rate was 3.125, and over the life of the loan, although he had to come to the table with his closing costs, over the life of the loan, I was saving him right at 79.5. Yeah.
So think about this. for the $8,000 that the down payment is getting, it's going to cost you another $80,000 over 30 years.
30 years.
So when you put the risk with the reward,
It's not worth it.
is it worth it?
Not at all.
And these are the conversations that we want to have, because we don't want to shun you away from down payment assistance, but we want to properly inform you.
Exactly.
And if you still make a decision, it's on you. But we have educated you in the process, because $80,000
is a lot.
Is a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. And also, man, we, like, if there's something that we want to do, if we want to take a trip, if we want to go buy a car, we come up with a way to make it happen, don't we?
Period.
But it's funny how when you're ready to buy a house, you want some free money. No, the same way you make it happen to take that trip or that cruise or get that car. Same principle applies here.
You have to.
Yeah. Let's make it happen.
Wow. And I hope you all were following that. $8,000 would turn into you repaying $80,000
10
over the
times
life.
the amount
Exactly.
that you've loaned.
So that's why this episode is really important, so we can inform our consumer to make educated decisions, because I don't know anyone, if they told you verbatim, if you had the $8,000, you would pay someone $80,000. So that's tremendous, and we had to touch on that, because a lot of people have this glorious idea about down payment assistance, but in actuality, it puts you behind the $8.
That's right.
Wow. You are wealth of knowledge, Rich, and that's why we wanted you on the Village Speaks, because we wanted to show expertise versus someone who's just a filler in the mortgage business. So we definitely appreciate your time.
Not a problem.
Not
a problem. Well, man, I appreciate you inviting me out, but I just want to let the people know I'm here for you, and I will educate you. I'm very transparent. I don't hide anything from you. I don't even hide what I'm making. I'll show you how I get paid these loans, and I'll let you decide on, hey, how we're going to structure the loan. I'm not about getting money. It's about getting money, but it's not about getting money. It's about getting money because I take care of my family.
Most definitely.
But it's not about getting money. I never look at the commissions that I make just trying to put somebody in the house. I will never put you in a bad position. Ever. Because at the end of the day, I got to sleep with both my eyes closed, and I got to sleep comfortable, knowing that I did a good job, that I did a good deed for this customer here.
That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing.
Rich, listen, how can our viewers get in touch with you? How can they find you? Give us your email, your website. What do you have?
Well, you can always find me getting something to eat somewhere.
So if you cooking,
you can find me at Kroger, Walmart. But if you really need to talk to me, you can hit me at 469-878-6207. I do have my own website, ThurmanLending.com, THURMAN, lending.com. That website is open 24 hours a day. Go on there and apply. We'll take care of you. And you can also find me on Facebook.
Right, definitely. Y'all do that right now.
Yes, look them up. Well, were there any other questions that you had?
I think we have been edutained.
For sure.
I think we have been edutained with Rich Thurman, aka the resource. So I just appreciate your time, and I love to meet professionals that are passionate about the business rather than just looking for checks. So do you have any last sayings or anything that our followers need to make sure that they hone in on from all the nuggets that you told today? Maybe give us one last parting saying that they can hang their hat on if they just happen to miss our whole interview. Give them just one tip that they need to make sure they know.
Well, again, I would say work on your credit. Credit is key. And so work on your credit, work on your